All right, welcome to the virtual college exploration for all Illinois students, sponsored by the Illinois Association for College Admissions Counseling and StriveScan. Welcome to today's presentation from the University of Florida. Please keep in mind that we encourage you to ask questions today of our presenters, and you can ask any questions using the Q&A button. So type it in there at any point, and our colleagues from the University of Florida will be able to respond to you. Just a reminder again, your camera and microphone do not work for this session. So again, use the Q&A feature. There will be a recording of this entire session, and it will be available 1 week from today on the IACAC.org website. And we have hundreds of other additional sessions that you can go and watch and check out our schedule again at the IACAC.org website. And I'll turn our presentation over to our colleagues from the University of Florida.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my PowerPoint now. All right, let me just go ahead and get that started. All right, just want to go ahead and welcome everyone. My name is Theos Rizos. I'm a freshman admissions officer here at the University of Florida. I want to thank you all for taking the time to learn a little bit about the University of Florida, our application process. I'm going to be talking about a lot of different things today, but basically it's going to be about a 20 to 30 minute presentation giving you all an overview about our application process. Definitely want to thank you all for taking the opportunity to join us virtually. We know that this isn't the ideal format to be able to visit campus, but I hope that today's session is going to be a great substitute, and we're going to have some time at the end for myself and a colleague to answer some questions. I will have another colleague who's going to be coming in about halfway to finish the presentation. I do want to take the time to mention that as of right now, there has not been any updates or changes to our application process as a result of COVID-19, but if there are any changes, that will be communicated on our website and communication materials. All right, so first off, the University of Florida was recently ranked number 6 for public institutions, according to US News and World Rankings. University of Florida also has 36 eminent scholars. It's a land, sea, and space grant institution, and the only Florida institution which has basically all of those classifications and is a member of the Association of American Universities, which only has 65 public and private institutions. The University of Florida has over 2,000 acres of land. It's located in Gainesville, Florida, with a UF population consisting of about 55,000 students, 38,000 undergraduate students, and about 17,000 graduate students, making it one of the largest public institutions across the nation. In terms of the city of Gainesville, the University of Florida is located within Gainesville, Florida, which is located in north central Florida. And it's a small college town with a lot of big opportunities. So basically, there's lots of natural sites. If you're someone who's into nature, springs, hiking, there's plenty of opportunities for that. If you're someone who considers yourself a foodie like me, there's all different types of food that you can imagine. So all different types of food from various culture. For example, across from our office, there's about 4 different places that serve sushi. So whatever types of food you're looking for, there's different types of cuisine from various countries, Indian cuisine, Latin, whatever you're looking for, there's something for pretty much all different types of food in your campus. Within the city, so many different beautiful places. It is a college town also. And with that, I do want to also emphasize that another cool thing about Gainesville is that it's located within various large hubs as well. So while it is a small college town, with definitely a small college town field, you're about 2 hours away from Orlando, 2 hours away from Jacksonville, and you're about 4.5 to 5 hours away from the city of Atlanta. So you have access to a lot of different resources. The University of Florida also has a hospital called Shands, which is actually located on campus. So if you're a student that might be pre-professional, you have the opportunity to shadow a physician on campus, which is another great experience and opportunity for students. All right, I want to go ahead and talk about the dates and deadlines in our application process. So the first thing that you need to know is that the University of Florida has one priority application deadline, November 1st. So with that, with the November 1st application deadline, it's a priority deadline. It's non-binding, but your best chance of being admitted is if you apply by November 1st. So with that, we typically get close to about 50,000 applications every year. I do want to emphasize you want to apply by November 1st also to be considered for merit scholarships. And our merit scholarship process is set up to where if you apply by November 1st, you're automatically considered. The second deadline I want to go ahead and talk about is the student self-reported academic record, which is due December 1st. And with that, the student self-reported academic record is basically where you self-report your grades and coursework throughout high school. Third deadline is the SAT or ACT score, which is due December 15th. And just want to emphasize that is still a requirement, and we will accept scores up to the December SAT or ACT test this year. Test optional is still being considered at the university system level. It's not a decision that's made at the institution level. It's something that's made by the Board of Governors. And as of now, there has not been any changes to that requirement. But again, if any changes are made, it will be reflected on our website. All right, next topic I want to discuss is basically what we look for in the admissions process. So at the University of Florida, we're looking for well-rounded students. Academically, we're going to be looking at students based off of their grade point average. We do recalculate GPAs. It's on a 4.0 scale, and basically any honors classes get an extra 0.5. Any AP, IB, ACE, and academic dual enrollment classes get an extra 1 point weight in the calculation. In addition to that, we're also going to be looking at your strength of schedule. We're looking at your coursework from freshman year all the way through your junior year, including your senior year schedule. And then we're also going to be looking at your ACT or SAT score. As far as the middle 50% stats, you can see those included on the PowerPoint. So 4.3 to 4.6 weighted GPA, an SAT of a 1320 to a 1460, and an ACT of a 30 to 33. I do want to emphasize that these are not minimums, and that with the middle 50%, about 25% of students are above that range, 25% are lower, and we're looking at the whole picture in the admissions process. I do also want to emphasize that we are understanding that there's been impact due to COVID-19. So with that, some student schedules might look different. Some students might have pass-fail grades, and some students might have had fewer opportunities to test. So that is something that we are aware of as an admission staff. All right, I want to go ahead and talk about the next component. So basically, another essential part of our process is that we review students holistically. And with that, we're looking to learn about everything you've done outside of the classroom. With the holistic component, we're going to be focusing on the resume and also the essay. And with the resume, basically, we're looking at everything you've done outside of the classroom. So with that, I always recommend definitely highlighting any clubs or activities that you're involved in, emphasizing any leadership positions. For example, if you're a part of the Key Club, highlight a specific position you might have held. Were you the president? Were you the treasurer? How did you impact your school, and how did you impact your broader community? Try to be as specific as possible in the resume section. Next, the essay, basically in the Common App or the Coalition application, you can apply to the University of Florida through either of those platforms. The Common App or the Coalition app. There are sample essay prompts in the Common App or the Coalition app. And I do want to mention that within that, with those sample platforms, you can also write on a topic of your own. So with that, the sky's the limit. We've seen essays on all different types of topics. Some students talk about something that might have inspired them, changed their perspective in the world. Some students might talk about something, maybe a challenge or obstacle. There's definitely, that's up to you. I've read an essay where a student talked about how their desk grew with them over the years. So definitely feel free to be creative if you like. We're not grading it as English teachers. So keep in mind that the essay is basically kind of like your interview with an admissions officer. It's our opportunity to learn about who you are. With that being said, definitely recommend getting your essay proofread by a college counselor, maybe a teacher, and maybe a family member. All right, next I want to go ahead and talk about some programs that we have. So within the University of Florida, the traditional route to applying is applying for summer term or fall term. That's considered the traditional route. There are some other programs that you can apply for. The Innovation Academy is a program that really fosters entrepreneurship. Students within that program have access to about 30 plus majors, and they're taking classes on a unique spring and summer cohort where basically they're taking coursework in a cohort model. They'll have a lot of the same students within that sequence of courses, and these students, in combination with their major, are also earning a minor in innovation. And these are entrepreneurship-heavy classes. The Innovation Academy is for students who consider themselves entrepreneurs, risk takers, problem solvers. If that program sounds interesting to you, definitely I recommend reading more about it on our website. The Innovation Academy has a page specifically, and there will be a question on the application asking you to write a supplemental essay if you're interested in that program. Do keep in mind that if you do apply to be in the Innovation Academy, that is a program that if you're admitted into it, that's going to be your program structure all 4 years on that spring and summer academic cohort. Next, the honors program is a program that offers some additional opportunities for engagement. So for example, students within the honors program are very much encouraged to do research, internship, study abroad, and a lot of things that's going to propel them professionally and also in their educational endeavors. Students in the honors program have access to Hume Hall, which is a residence hall for the honors community. They also have access to courses that are capped at 25 students for honors specific classes. So a perk about that is that those classes being capped at 25 students can often lead to a lot of discourse and unique opportunities for students to engage. Another program we have is called the PACE program. This isn't a program that students can apply for, but in the admissions process, in the event that they're not admitted for summer or fall, we do also look at alternative programs we can admit students. And the PACE program is a program where students might start off and do their first 2 years online and then their last 2 years on campus. AP, IB, ACE, and dual enrollment credits do count towards the PACE program. All right, so I want to go ahead and talk about a couple more reasons as to why you should consider the University of Florida. So first off, when it comes to why you should consider the University of Florida, I do want to mention a couple sections, credibility and affordability. In terms of credibility, I want to mention that the University of Florida has 120 plus majors, and with that, you have the unique opportunity to be able to explore. So regardless of what you're looking to study, you can come in exploratory and you can change your mind. The benefit to that is that if you're a student who's 18 years old and you might not know exactly what you want to study, you have the ability, you have great flexibility, and you have resources to support you. With that in mind, we have so many different programs available. We also have all professional schools represented. So we have a law school, veterinary school, medical school, dental school, and a pharmacy school. And some students might not know what exactly they want to study, and that's okay. About 65% of students change their major at UF. So while some institutions might require you to apply to a specific major or program, at the University of Florida, your major is not a factor in your application, and you can change your major as early as orientation, and in some cases as late as your sophomore year. Next, I want to go ahead and talk about affordability. So with affordability, about 85% of students at the University of Florida receive financial aid, and about 2/3 of students graduate debt-free. With that, you are getting a top-tier education at a very affordable rate. I do want to mention that we also have a variety of resources that's going to help you be employed. So we have a Career Connection Center, whose job is basically to find you a job. They offer a job showcase, a career showcase that happens during the fall, spring, and summer terms. Majorly during the fall and spring term, they have the career showcase, and during the summer term, they have a smaller job fair. During the career showcase, they have hundreds of employers coming out looking to hire students for internships and full-time positions. And they offer a lot of services that ranges from resume critiques, mock interviews, cover letter critiques. They also have a career closet where you can borrow a professional outfit if you don't have professional clothing, or maybe you might need access to a certain tie or something of that nature. They also offer professional headshot photos to students at no cost. So that's a great resource, potentially something that students can use for their LinkedIn profiles. And the University of Florida is ranked number 2nd for best value public colleges by Kiplinger. All right, I want to go ahead and talk about campus life really briefly. So with campus life, the University of Florida has over 1,000 student organizations. And with that, there's something for everyone. There are cultural organizations, ranging from the Black Student Union, Hispanic Student Association, we have Russian Club, Asian American Student Association. There's something for everyone. And you don't have to identify within those specific groups in order to join those organizations. So in many cases, that can be an opportunity for students to learn about other cultures that they're interested in. We have a student government that manages a multi-million-dollar budget. There's an executive branch, judicial branch, and a legislative branch. And with that, there's so many opportunities for students to gain experiences that's going to help develop them also interpersonally in many ways that they wouldn't be able to develop certain skill sets in the classroom. So extracurricular activities, we call them co-curricular activities because they can very much also serve as a very educational part of the process as well. With that, there's student organizations for fun. There's student organizations that are also pre-professional. We have a skydiving club called the Falling Gators. So if you're looking to go skydiving, that's another opportunity available. There's political organizations. There's intramural sports, club sports, fraternities and sororities. If you're interested in Greek organizations on campus, there's literally something for everyone. If you're someone who might be a gamer, there's a gaming group on campus. There's also various organizations and affinity groups for students who might consider themselves to be spiritual. Additionally, I want to mention that we have a very robust student affairs system, and that includes a first-generation student success department, which basically supports students who might be the first in their family to get a college degree, multicultural and diversity affairs, which includes Institute of Black Culture, Institute of Hispanic Culture, also called La Casita. We also have an LGBTQ affairs, and we have an Asian and American and Pacific Islander affairs department as well. There's many different affinity groups. We have a You Matter We Care department as a part of the student affairs system, which is a department that exists to make sure that all students, all Gators are taken care of. There's also various other departments, a counseling and wellness center, which is a great, incredible resource. And the counseling and wellness center has a lot of different resources available to students, ranging from counseling, they even have couples counseling. And they also have services available, including workshops, including empowerment groups. For example, they have a math empowerment session that's a resource for students. We also have a very robust disability resource center on campus. And with that, they basically serve as an advocate on campus for students who might have physical disabilities or invisible disabilities. And over 10% of students, typically about 10 to 11%, have a registered accommodation that they might receive. So with that, for students who might have IEPs or 504s, or maybe if you feel that you might have a learning disability that wasn't diagnosed, they have resources on campus to make sure that you're getting the support you need and accommodations that you need to be successful in the classroom. And with that, they have various opportunities for engagement and ambassador group, and they basically serve as an advocate for all students. And one last thing I want to mention about campus life and organizations, you can make a big university small, but you can't make a small university big. So I definitely recommend very strongly being involved in student organizations and whatever institution that you decide to attend. I think that the University of Florida has many opportunities for student organizations for all students. At this point, I want to go ahead and transition into the question and answer portion. I have a couple colleagues available. One who's going to go ahead and introduce himself, Mr. Randy Brown, who is the Assistant Director for Outreach and Recruitment, who's going to be covering my place in the presentation.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well. Sorry, I'm just now being able to join on. But yes, I will be taking over the questions portion moving forward. Okay, so. So we have the first question up, talk a little bit more about tuition. And so what I'll do is I will actually post a link for you in the regarding kind of tuition and fees. And so if you give me a second, I'll get to that and I'll make sure that I get those tuition answers for you, okay? Yes, we do have psychology and some component of a major similar connected to psychology and criminology, major and minors, definitely I believe majors at the University of Florida. And I'll direct you to where all the majors that we have over 120 majors at the University of Florida. And so we pretty much have every offering or connection that you have. We do accept outside scholarships from other organizations here at the University of Florida. We just need to make sure that those outside offices are connected with the University of Florida to make sure that we receive those payments. So yes, we do accept the credits for AP exams and classes taken in high school, and there's a process for receiving those credits. And so, we just go through and confirm. And thank you, Dave, for following up and getting these links and everything responded to for me. Do we have any other questions? Okay. So thank you, Logan, for your question. That's a very specific question. I would need to direct you to the requirements for the veterinary school. Now, to be clear, any credits that students take at the University of Florida would, of course, transfer into our degree programs. It just also depends on what particularly our graduate degree programs, it depends on what the nature of the actual class is, and the veterinary school specific kind of prerequisites. And so as long as those, the class that you take meet the prerequisites, then all of our credits transition to graduate programs. But you would be best suited to look into the veterinary school's prerequisites, and then what classes do you take in the zoology program? And that will give you a great response on the alignment on that one. Any other questions? Great question, Logan. To attend community college for my associates. So yeah, it depends. It depends, one, on where you take the community college credits. So and what will happen is it will need to be reviewed. Now UF does have a robust number of courses, because we've seen a lot of students transfer in with a lot of different credits from a lot of different places. So for our in-state schools in the state of Florida, then we know exactly how those credit systems work. But for every other institution, we have to check and kind of confirm its alignment. And so if you're interested in transferring, then we can definitely work with you with students that transfer, and to particularly see if those institutions that you're transferring from we've worked with or collaborated with before. So then we already have an idea of what that would look like. And then for the classes, though, we do accept credits from other institutions and other schools. It's just a matter of aligning to make sure that it meets if prerequisites are needed, and or what type of credit would be given in what cases. Any other questions? Okay, I want to make sure that if you have any questions, then I want to make sure we give you an opportunity to ask those. Okay. Well, if we don't have any other questions, then I believe everyone has Theo's contact information. Is that accurate? Okay. Well, if there aren't any other questions, then I guess we can end it. I'll hang out just in case if any other questions come up. And so just let me know. So yes, we do have some scholarships for out-of-state students, and you'll need to apply. And I believe we are going to share with you the link for scholarships. Perfect. And we have just shared that with you. No problem.